we're going to show, I believe it's the only other dime that we have today.
I think so.
On today's show. And this is actually a 4116. And we're jumping ahead, way ahead. We're now moving to way into 1944. We're moving to World War II of time. And we're now into the Merc dimes. And this is, I would think, near the end of the series. But you're looking at something very special here because this is a silver Mercury dime. It is PCGS graded, and I'm not reading this incorrectly. I'm actually seeing a mint state 68.
Right.
So you're talking about a coin that's almost 70 years old, and it is 2 grades away from being a perfect example, certified perfect example, not subjectively. You're looking at people, graders have voted and chosen this coin to be a mint state 68 with the FB designation, which means full bands, which I'm sure you'll definitely tell us about. So why did you choose this coin?
It's a coin that, again, that like the 1918 cent that we showed earlier.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually a very common coin,
mm-hmm.
but not in superb premium gem condition, which is the technical term for this grade level.
Superb premium gem.
That's what I call it. Yes.
I like that.
It's,
superb. Okay, superb premium gem. So SPG.
Yeah.
I like that.
If you will.
Okay.
It's a very difficult coin in this grade. Actually, there was a small hoard of these, so 77 as of today have been graded at this level.
Wow.
None finer.
How many were minted?
Oh, I don't.
Approximately.
45 was the last year in the series. I think in 44 we were talking over 100 million. It was in the 9 digits.
So you have a high mintage, and you're towards the end of the series. It seems like it's a very historical time, and I'm sure there were a lot more collectors, but you have a 9-digit figure mintage, and you said this is the finest known. Then, so you said how many?
None finer. 77 at this level.
So
none finer.
So this is the fine. So it's tied for one of the finest ever.
Right.
And there's something to be said with that. I mean, you have it seems like a sleeper then opportunity, and you have a pinnacle grade because to date there's nothing ever been graded higher.
In fact, in the entire series of Mercury dimes, 1916 to 1945, only I think 14 have been graded at the MS69 level, and that's
in the whole series.
The whole entire series, and that's just 1 year, 1939D, I believe.
Wow.
There must have been a small hoard of
maybe we're just stored in some airtight vault and were never, someone forgot about
Probably
it.
Somebody at the mint. It could have been specimen strikings. That's an
incredible,
amazing grade level. So 68's amazing in itself.
A 68. I mean, I've seen a few coins, that have been at this grade. I've seen some 69s, but I've never really seen a Mercury dime at this level. And today's price is $1,499. Again, this is a 4116, and you have full bands. And the reverse of it, full bands, you can see right there is when you have the Roman pillar there, you can actually see full lines going across it, and horizontally. Exactly. But I don't remember seeing that in the grading, back in the day. Sort of like I remember the full steps on the Jefferson nickels.
Yeah, the full bands suggest that this coin was very well struck, mm-hmm. which you would expect that for an MS68 coin anyway, but not always. I've seen, some that don't have full bands.
Huh.
It's a difficult designation, and it definitely is worth substantially more with that designation as opposed to the non-full bands.
I would think it's kind of like that eye appeal designation or a star designation that sometimes I've seen on some holders, that it just adds to another value. So not only do you have a pinnacle grade, you have one of the highest graded coins I think we'll have tonight. You have towards the end of a series, and you have that little extra nudge to kind of make this that much more valuable.
Well, it's special. The full band designation is special to collectors because the Mercury dime was designed by Adolf Weinman, and there's actually a design flaw. He designed the obverse and the reverse with the highest points, so there wasn't enough metal to flow to completely fill the entire coin.
Huh.
So that's why far more often than not, on uncirculated Mercury dimes, you will not have full bands.
So that and is it also because were those the hot spots and they're the first things worn down because it's just the way it flows?
Not necessarily. It's even on a gem uncirculated Mercury Dime that never circulated. Many of them, the majority of them, vast majority, will not have full bands. That's because the tonnage used at the press that time and the setting of the dies wasn't exactly perfect. It's a combination of things: the die setting, the tonnage used, to get that to get the details fully struck up. Because there wasn't enough metal on the blank planchet, the silver blank, to fill the dies, obverse and reverse. But occasionally you'll find one that was everything was lined up on that day and they really nailed it.
Kind of just like everything fell into place, and you just have that a serendipitous striking, and you can end up owning one of those few examples. I'm sure of the hundreds and hundreds of millions of Merc dimes that are struck. I mean, it takes a lot for all of the ingredients to come together in that pot to produce something as wonderful as this, and for it to survive, and then for it to survive now sonically sealed in this airtight holder. You now have it forever encased and protected, and you're literally a whisper away from perfection at this level, and it's under $1,500 right now at $1,499. It's just an incredible deal.